So let's have a look at the desktop version of CapCut. We'll open it and you will see that it's basically very similar to what we're using on the phone. CapCut has the same features in both versions, it's just that the surface looks a little bit different. We will open a new project and as you see, we have all these features lined up that you know from before. We're going to go and import, because at the desktop version it doesn't throw us directly in the gallery, but we have to go and import the files from the computer. So when we click import, this is what shows. We will go and pick one of the files to edit with, but then you can add anything. You can create your own little gallery with all kinds of videos or photos to add here. We're going to add a few different ones just so that we can edit with them. We can also add the music, MP3, and that will be enough for now. So what we're going to do is I'm going to show you all the features and that you already know from before. It's just that you need to see how they're organized in the CapCut version for desktop. So we're going to either trim the video from here. You can just go up here and say play, and then you can see, or you can just scroll through the video like this. This is the preview. This is where you will see where the video is and how do you want it. Let's say you want to cut it, trim it roughly from here, and then you bring it down on the timeline. And when it's on the timeline, we will need to also decide which ratio we will have, and we will go and pick it from here. This is the format of the video that we have right now. Right now it's in the horizontal mode. So we're going to go to the ratio and we will say, okay, let's put it in, let's say 1:1. Now you see there's black up and black down, which means we have to either stretch the video or we place it the way we want to place it. If you move it around, you can see that it's showing you the grid lines. So this is the center, and let's say that I want to just stretch this video throughout to fill in this format that I chose. We're going to also pick another video, we'll put it down on the timeline. This one is a little bit longer, so we're going to just give it a cut over here. So we'll go and either split, or you can say delete left or delete right. I will say just delete everything that's after this because I don't need it. So this is what happens. Okay, so we have two video clips. So we can also put some sound below under it, and we can again just position ourselves here in the end and say delete everything that's right, and that's what happened. Now let's have a look at all the features, the rest of the features that we know already, but need to figure out where they are in the desktop version of the CapCut. Here, as mentioned, is split. Then you have the delete left, delete right. Here you have the delete feature, and then over here you have a mark. You can mark your video if you want. Let's click on the video and let's say, okay, I want to mark it right here. This is, I will come back later and I will put a text over here. And then I move forward and I edit the rest. Next to the marker, we have the feature called freeze. If we want to, for example, make a screenshot or take one frame and freeze it, that's what will happen. So position yourself here and say, let's freeze. And CapCut will create a picture of this frame that you wanted to have. Then you can take it out, you can place it in the end or wherever. This is like overlay, you see? You can put the pictures on top of the pictures here like this. You don't have to go and pick the overlay or add overlay like in the smartphone version. So we can make it shorter, we can just click on it and go and do whatever we want with it over here. So the window will pop up right up, and you can go and change the scale, you can go and change the position of the shot, but you have to locate the playhead on that shot, otherwise you will not see what is happening with the video. So if I scale it, you see I can do this, then I can go and make choose the animation for it if you want it. You can also adjust the brightness, the light and everything for it. If you press the adjustment, just scroll down and you will see it's like editing the picture. So you can go and you can, for example, increase the brightness, you can increase the contrast, you can put the highlights, you can even make it black and white and play with that. So this is something that you can discover and explore on your own. Then we have the features here that we also know from the smartphone version, and they're set over here. If you want to, for example, mirror the shot, turn it around, or if you want to rotate it, or if you want to crop it right now here, you can also do it, for example, like this. Now, that is something that you already know from before. So let's move on to other things. Here you have a record button. You can do the voiceovers from here, and it's quite simple. You just press on it, and it's a very useful feature for those of you who want to just make a video without any sound, and then you just comment as you watch it. For example, I can position myself over here at the beginning and say, okay, I want to comment the video. Now I'm starting to record the comment, so we're watching a video of the CapCut desktop and everything. And then you shut it off, you close it, and you have a file over here. This is your audio file that you can grab and move left, right, anywhere you want through the video. You can also cut it, trim it, do all those things that you want to do. If you mark it, again, you will have this window popping up that will show you all the things that you can do with this audio clip. So this is your voiceover, and it's showing you what you can do. You can fade it in, you can fade it out, you can increase or reduce the volume. You can also change the voice. There are some very cute filters that you can use for it. It can make it sound high, deep, echo. Play with it and you will see what you can do with it. You can also speed it up and all that stuff. So let's move on. As we said before, here where there's media, this is where you import your files over here. You can also sort them by the different categories. You can also change how you want to see these pictures. I want to see them as a grid, I prefer that. And then up here, there are also some other features that you will remember from the smartphone version. Let's say how to add the sound, how to add the audio. You will have all the music in here. You can check it out. But as I said before, you have to be careful about the copyrights issues. So I would strongly advise you to, if you're going to use this video for TikTok, it's fine. Then you can use the music from here. But if not, then you might have issues with sharing this video on other platforms. So my advice would be just go to media and just import some music that you're sure doesn't have issues with copyrights. We mentioned Pixabay music before, and also if you make your own music, that's a fantastic way to use it. Then with the audio, you will also see there are sound effects over here. You can go and scroll through them and see if you like anything. The next feature over here is the text. We also talked about how to use it before. So basically you go and you check what you like. So when you have the text, you can choose something and just click on it and you will see how it will look like. You will see it over here in the middle. For example, let's say I pick this one, I'll just say plus, and it will add it exactly where the playhead is right now. Then you can move it around and you can just make it bigger. You can make it, you can change the font, you can change whatever you decide you want to change. So again, you will go on this side here, you will change the font, you will change the size, you will change the color. This is where you can play with all kinds of things that you can change to the subtitles or to the text. Next thing here is also stickers. Now you have a lot of stickers in the bank, or how do you call it, in the library. Just be cautious to not use those ones that are pro version. Next thing we have here is effects. There are so many effects. Just how do you apply them? Let's say you want to apply a visual effect on this first clip. You just grab it, bring it down and drop it. Now, there's another thing that I want to show you, which is transitions. We did not mention transitions before. Transitions are those ones that are in between two clips, for example. we're going to delete this because it's kind of disturbing. So between these two clips, I go over here and I just zoom to the timeline so that I can see it better. If I want to apply a certain transition, it will show me where, when I click like this, and I'll say, okay, I want to apply this shutter transition over here between these two clips. What will happen is when I click on it, on the plus, it will throw it down, and then you can just extend it. This is how it will look like, you see? This is how this transition looks like. Now, my advice would be, when you're applying the transitions to your video, please try to be consistent. Don't use too many different transitions in one video, because the video will not look nice at all. Pick one transition that you like and then apply it. If you need to apply it in your video, try to use the same one throughout. Here we have some filters. You can also choose and scroll around. Take your time and just first look at what you have and what you don't have and what you can do. Which ones do you like, which ones you don't like. There's so many filters here that you will need some time to go through them. Okay, so when we're done with editing the video, we're going to export it. In smartphone version, it goes very easily. You have that option to export, and then you choose basically the same features as you have here. You can set the resolution. Here you have options to put it in 4K, 2K, or even smaller versions for those who are going to use it to send it on, maybe on Viber or WhatsApp, and where you don't need the resolution to be very high. So you can observe the estimated size below here whenever you're going to change the resolution. Of course, it's not going to make miracles, but it will try to convert the video in the highest possible resolution. So just check those things before you start to film with your smartphone and set up the resolution the way you want it. So I'm just going to leave it in 1080p. And also you can change the format if you want. MOV, MP4 are two options, and you can set up the frame rate if you feel like you want a higher frame rate. Again, observe the estimated size when you're going to export it. Now, one thing you have to do is, and I would strongly recommend, is to give your video, before you export it, a name. We'll call it a video test. And we're going to export it. Now that the video exported, you can, of course, share it on TikTok or YouTube. It's saved on your desktop, and you can check where the video was saved. You can open the folder and you'll find it here. So there you go. And that's about exporting the video. So basically what you see is the desktop version of the editor CapCut, and it is a little bit different than the smartphone version, with the surface being different, but everything else is the same. So I would strongly advise you to play around with it, try it out, see which one fits you better. There are people who prefer to use the smartphone CapCut because it's easier to edit on the go. They don't need to transfer all these files to the computer and all that. But then there are people who just can't look at the monitor of the smartphone for too long, and then they just want to edit with the computer. Editing on the computer might be much easier and friendlier to your eyes and your concentration, but even maybe for your neck. So you pick what's better for you. I hope you learned a few things today in this tutorial. Just go and practice, practice, practice. That's how it is with editing videos. If you're going to edit videos constantly, if you're going to give yourself small challenges every, I don't know, a few times a week, edit something short, and you will see that with time you will get to know editing so much, and you will also start to like it. And one more thing, all these features and all this terminology that we're using in the video editing business, you will be able to edit videos in any app eventually. Once you figure out what means what, and what's a transition, what is, I don't know, which effects do we have, how do you cut, how do you trim, then you're going to be able to edit videos in basically any app. It just takes a little bit of time to figure out different softwares. So whatever you're going to do with this skill, I hope you're going to enjoy it, practice, and most importantly, have fun.